Hi everyone, Sherry here. I wanted to do a little video regarding the legality of Mirror Trading International. I get a lot of questions from people coming to me asking me about FSB registration. They're asking me about DSA association. They're asking me about regulations regarding Bitcoin. And obviously I get that question about, is Mirror Trading International a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme all the time? So I wanted to quickly share with you guys something that I've taken the initiative to get done. I've got a friend who is one of the greatest legal minds in South Africa. He studied law at UKZN in Natal with me, one of the top students there, and he's currently practicing in Port Elizabeth. And I asked him to write me an opinion on network marketing in South Africa and on FSB regulations. And I think what he has come up with is absolutely amazing, and it gives me such pleasure to share this with you guys, because I think for far too long network marketing has been shaved as one of these pyramid schemes. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Everybody seems to think that anything that has a recruiting function or a referral function is a pyramid scheme. It's not. Guys, when you're asking questions like that and you don't actually know what you're talking about, you look a little silly, I must be honest. So my suggestion is that you go and do some research on what pyramid schemes are, and you're going to find the following. The legislation that regulates network marketing in South Africa is the Consumer Protection Act. Now, the Consumer Protection Act 68 of 2008 is very clear about what constitutes illegal network marketing companies. Now, I've got obviously this document here, and I'm going to run through this and give you a legal opinion application of why Mirror Trading International is not a pyramid scheme and why it is 100% legit and legal. So obviously, you need to realize that Mirror Trading International is registered in South Africa because the core business and operations take place here in South Africa. Yes, we've got members all across the world, but remember, the business operations happens in South Africa. That's why we comply with South African regulations. So just to let everybody know. So you have to know that network marketing, as per South African legislation, is not illegal, guys. It is not a dirty little secret that you have to keep, and you don't have to feel unconfident or worried when you are recruiting people into a legitimate organization. You are helping them, you're aiding them, you're giving them an opportunity, and at the same time creating a second income for yourself. There is nothing to be apologetic about. So multi-level marketing, according to this document, is a strategy that some direct sales company utilize to encourage existing distributors of the company or members who are authorized to sell their product or service to recruit new members to increase sales or further sales of the product. Okay, so this is fine. I'm not obviously going to read through the whole thing, otherwise we're literally going to be here forever. MLM is a marketing campaign that promotes the sale of a legitimate product or a service. The Consumer Protection Act is the appropriate piece of legislation which will regulate this structure. If the financial scheme does not fall within the ambit of the MLM campaign and has the hallmarks of an investment scheme, it must comply with the pertinent legislation as of the Collective Investment Schemes Control Act 45 of 2002. So, if your company does not have a service attached to it or a product attached to it, then you've got a problem. If it's investment in fiat, in other words, investment in cash, in rand, in dollar, in the yen, in euro, or the pound, then you are regulated by the Collective Investment Scheme Control Act 45 of 2002. So this to me was very interesting, because a lot of people seem to think that MTI is an investment company. It actually provides a service to you where trades get done on your behalf. Okay, so you are not doing the trading. MTI is not doing the trading. They are only providing you the service and the access to trade with Bitcoin as a base currency. So let's quickly deal with this FSB registration. The FSB, by its own regulations, deal with fiat currency, and our government here in South Africa doesn't recognize Bitcoin as legal tender, so they don't see it as money. It's an asset, so to speak. Even when you pay tax, you don't pay income tax, you pay capital gains tax. So it's almost the same as property, right? So the FSB is not a regulating body for any Bitcoin companies, guys. That's why MTI does not need to be registered with the FSB, because firstly, we're not giving financial advice, and secondly, our base currency is Bitcoin, and they don't recognize that as a currency. They recognize it as an asset. So I quickly wanted to, I'm not going to go through all of this, but the definitions is what got me really excited. So Section 43 of the Consumer Protection Act goes on further to discuss schemes which have the nature of being network marketing companies, but they might actually only be the following. Number one is multiplication schemes, pyramid schemes, and chain letter schemes. Now, these three schemes are illegal, And the act then goes out to really set out what these schemes look like. And when you read them, it's actually very interesting, okay? So when you look at the first one, let me just double check that, which is the multiplication scheme. In terms of section 43(3) of the Consumer Protection Act, a multiplication scheme exists when a person offers or promises a guaranteed investor or participation amount of return, effective annual interest rate as calculated in the prescribed manner that is at least 20% above the repo rate. Okay? So a lot of people would say that this is where NTI falls into the category, right? Is that we're what do they call it, a multiplication scheme. Okay, so I want to make this very clear. NTI does not offer, guarantee, or promise a guaranteed result in the future. So it's very important that everybody remembers that. Yes, we've had excellent trading results. Yes, we've made an average of 0.5% a day in the last year of trading that we've actively been trading. But that does not mean the company guarantees or promises that in the future. On all our marketing material and every single one of our members in the back office system, it is very clearly stated that trading results vary. We could very possibly have a negative trading day in the future. So for us, it's all about managing risk, being conservative, but also being consistent. So the deciding factor one has to consider in determining the existence of a multiplication scheme is the promise or guarantee made to the consumer, investor, or participant for an interest rate higher than 20%. Okay, so again, Mirror Trading International does not do that, so we are not a multiplication scheme. Let's look at pyramid schemes. This seems to be the one that everybody is always asking about. So in terms of section 43(4), a pyramid scheme is an arrangement or an agreement or a practice of a scheme if it has the following characteristics. Participants in the scheme receive compensation derived primarily from respective recruitment of other persons as participants. Okay? This is important. A pyramid scheme, at the heart of it, is an organization that derives their income from recruiting. If you have to recruit to earn, you have a problem. If recruiting stops and your company dies, you have a problem. If one person's money is used to pay the next person, you have a problem. MTI does not have a problem. Every single cent that gets made or generated in MTI is through profit, generated in trade, not through recruiting. So when you join with MTI, you are taking your Bitcoin, you're putting it into your trading account, the company trades on your behalf, and at the end of the day, you get a portion of the profit that is derived with that capital that you had invested in terms of your Bitcoin, okay? So you are not being used to pay someone else. You can withdraw your capital at any moment. There are no fees, no limitations. When you join NTI, there's also no administration fee, no joining fee, no subscriptions. This is important to remember. Lots of people throw this pyramid scheme word around like it's going out of fashion, but in actual fact, they don't know what a pyramid scheme is. A pyramid scheme is where you are recruiting to keep the company alive. If 0 new members join NTI, we will still be making money because we are trading every single day. You get a full transaction statement every day of what gets done on your account, a transaction ID, a timestamp. You can go and double check every single trade that was done on your account. MTI is quite clearly not a pyramid scheme. Now, the last one is what they call a, let me just not lose this page. A chain letter scheme. Section 43(5), a chain letter scheme is an arrangement, agreement, practice, or scheme if it has the following characteristics. It has various levels of participation. So as you sign up, you're buying different packages, okay? Existing participants canvass and recruit new participants. So again, the focus is recruiting. And it has, upon joining, you've got to pay a certain consideration which is distributed to one or more of the previously existing participants. So a lot of these companies that you have a look at, I use that word very loosely, is I would put in 1,000 Rand, and then the person that referred me gets 500, and the person that referred them got 200. And these are sort of like crowdfunding, stokvel type of businesses. Guys, that is not even near to what MTI is. We don't fall into this ambit at all. In fact, not even close. But it's important to know what you're getting yourself into. Because if you are going to be joining anything that looks like a chain letter scheme, a pyramid scheme, or a multiplication scheme, then you're going to have an issue. MTI quite clearly, as we read through the regulations set out in the Consumer Protection Act, does not fall into the definition of a multiplication scheme, a pyramid scheme, or a chain letter scheme. And I think it's important for people to know that. So this was very exciting for me because I was learning quite a bit, not just about the Consumer Protection Act, but also about how legit MTI really is and how far they've gone to crossing their T's and dotting their I's. They've done an exceptional job of being very clear about what the regulations are and showing a massive intention to comply with South African legislation, giving us a phenomenal, very clever company that is creating a secondary income for lots of people, not just here in South Africa, but all across the world. So I quickly wanted to recap that. The legislation that governs network marketing in South Africa, okay, and we are the only country in Africa that has any regulations with MLM, guys. So I think that's very cool. It just speaks to also about how progressive our legal system in South Africa really is. That act is called the Consumer Protection Act. You can go and read up about it. Section 4 deals with what a pyramid scheme, multiplication scheme, or a chain letter scheme is. And you will see very, very clearly that Mirror Trading International does not fall into the ambit of any one of those. We are not a pyramid scheme because we generate our profit from trade. We are not a multiplication scheme because we don't guarantee any future returns. And we are not a chain letter scheme because we don't have any different levels of participation. Every member is exactly the same. And yes, we love the company. We love what it's doing all across the world. And for me, it's not just about Mirror Trading International. It's about other legitimate network marketing companies that are going through the same thing. People selling Herbalife. Herbalife is a legitimate company within the ambit of the Consumer Protection Act, guys. They sell a product. They've got a product that has value. They don't make income claims and they don't have recruiting tiers where people above you are earning just based on recruiting, guys. So that's very important. There's lots of companies like that. Amway, Avon, lots of them that are doing Manatech. These are all legitimate network marketing companies. The only difference, I think, and this is where I might be a bit biased, okay, is that Mirror Trading International is far less work. You know, a lot of these network marketing companies that have been around, they are fantastic, and we look to them as the companies that set the tone, that really introduced MLM into South Africa and Africa in general, right? But Mirror Trading International is different. There's a new market emerging, a market with cryptocurrency. Systems are changing, becoming easier. And I honestly have an opinion that MTI has got the cleverest business model. It is unbelievable how they've put this together. The money is generated from within. New membership is not necessary for the growth of the company. Does it help with increasing the capital pool so we make more money collectively? Absolutely. Yes, it does. But it's not necessary for the company's existence. And obviously the referral program is completely optional. You earn your trades every day anyway without every requirement or any cost. So I hope that this puts this whole pyramid scheme nonsense to bed. I wanted to share with you guys this legal opinion that I'd received. And don't take my word for it, guys. Do research on the Consumer Protection Act. Go and read up about your business. Learn about what's legal. Learn about what's not. Go and read up about Bitcoin. Go and read about Bitcoin tax law in South Africa. You would be surprised at how solid and legit the Mirror Trading International opportunity really is. So I hope that you guys got some value from this video. Send it on to all of your friends that are telling you you're part of a pyramid scheme, because it's simply not true. Have an awesome day.